We got news for you. WSIC. News, talk, now.
All right, everyone. Welcome back to the Scoreboard here on WSIC 105.9, 100.7 FM, and always streaming the video live to YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, the website, WSICnews.com, everywhere you could possibly want us. We are there. Today's going to be an interesting show because there's a lot going on, and there's a lot more going on in the NFL than should be going on currently. Let's start right there with the NFL and some of the news that we've had coming out of the NFL today as far as injuries go. Here's a big one. Panthers quarterback Bryce Young did not practice again today for the second straight day. Andy Dalton is now in line to start the game against the Seahawks on Sunday. And this is an injury that we didn't know happened during the game. I think the coaches were made aware of it after the game. So he played through it. Interesting decision early in the season, but, you know, he's a competitor. We'll leave it at that, I guess. But Bryce Young, the number 1 overall pick for the Panthers, goes down with an injury. Didn't practice today. Didn't practice yesterday. And Andy Dalton's probably going to be starting. Now, I don't know if this is good or bad, because I, in the offseason, would have said, let Andy Dalton start the first few games and see kind of how the team is before you throw Bryce in there. But they didn't decide to do that. They said, we're going to throw Bryce Young in right away. And, you know, it's okay. We could go ahead and use him in the games that we don't think we're going to win early in the season. Well, he gets hurt, and now he can't practice. Can't be the backup this week. And Andy Dalton's going to end up being the starter anyway. I hope that they're being very cautious with this injury, and it's not something where he's going to be out multiple weeks, because that wouldn't be good. We need Bryce Young in there. Now that you've thrown him in there and said, here, go figure it out. He's thrown in the fire, go figure it out. Now you have to keep him there. That's how he's going to learn now. And being out, that's not going to help him at all. And as far as the outlook for the Panthers go on Sunday, I still don't think they're going to win. I do think that the offense might look a little better, only because, and I'm not trying to talk smack about Bryce Young. All I'm going to say here is Andy Dalton is a more mature quarterback. He's been in the league for a long time. He'll figure something out. At least that's what I think is going to happen. Do you have an opinion on this? 704-873-1400. That is the phone number. If you have something on your mind, something you'd like to talk about, are you currently sitting in the bathtub with a bottle of wine crying about Bryce Young? Because I'm not. Even though it happened, we can't be sad. All we can do is hope that he's better in a week or two, comes back and keeps playing. We need him to get better. And at this point, the only way for him to get better is to keep playing. Because, man, oh, man, he played like a third-round draft pick would play in the first 2 weeks. Now, like I said, I really hope the Panthers are just being cautious with this right now, because there's no need to push it. He's good. He's a young quarterback. You don't want to hurt him long term, but you do want to get him back in there. Unfortunately, he's out Sunday. That's just one of the injuries taking place today in the NFL. The other one is even more big. Even bigger, I should say. More big. Yeah, that made sense. The other one's even bigger. Man. The Cowboys have one of the best defenses in the NFL. Well, here's the diagnosis for you. Cowboys cornerback Trayvon Diggs is being evaluated after hurting his leg at practice during a non-contact drill. And the MRI confirmed what the Cowboys believed. And what the Cowboys believed was that he tore his ACL. And Trayvon Diggs did, in fact, tear his ACL in a practice on a Thursday during non-contact drills. Whew, that is a tough pill to swallow if you are a Cowboy fan, because that defense looked like it was the real deal. That defense looked like they were going to compete in the NFC. You have the number one cornerback. You have a number one pass rusher. The linebacker, the linebacking core is good. And now you lose your top corner, who is maybe not shut down, but he's good enough to where people say, you know what, maybe we shouldn't throw over to Trayvon Diggs' side. Maybe we should find him on the field and say, you know what, we're going to go throw it to someone else. But now the Cowboys lose that. And it is going to be touch and go for him. It's expected that he's going to miss the entire season. But if Aaron Rodgers can possibly come back from a torn Achilles in 4 months, I would assume that there's a small outside chance that Trayvon Diggs could return. Maybe. But then you look at Arizona and see Kyler Murray with his torn ACL. He tore it in December. Well, it's September now, and he's still not playing. This is a huge, huge, huge injury. Not only for the Cowboys, but for the entire NFL. Here's a list of players who did not practice today. And this is insane for a week 2. Odell Beckham Jr., Joe Burrow, Austin Eckler, Derrick Henry, Justice Hill, Anthony Richardson, Jalen Waddle, Christian Watson, and Jamal Williams. Those are some big names. Not to mention Joe Burrow re-aggravating his calf. Rookie Anthony Richardson in concussion protocol. Injury-ridden. Whew, boy. We're going to talk about the Thursday night game when we return, because there is an NFL game today, maybe only for about 10 minutes, but there will be a game. So stay tuned here on the Scoreboard. You're listening on WSIC 105.9, 100.7 FM. We'll be back after this.
Be a part of the conversation.
We can't fix America's debt by starving its people.
Have your say.
One shooting after another, and we're doing nothing to solve it?
This is WSIC News Talk Now.
Here is your WSIC community calendar. Stuart Owen Dance, the resident dance company of Asheville's Wortham Center for the Performing Arts, is performing at Kane Center for the Arts in Cornelius this Saturday. Want to learn more about Stuart Owen Dance before the event? Listen and watch Justin Dione, Executive Director of Kane Center for the Arts, during his show, Know the Scene, on Tuesday or on demand anytime. Just visit WSICnews.com and click on radio shows to find Know the Scene. Stuart Owen Dance this Saturday, canearts.org. That's CAIN arts.org. The sesquicentennial celebration for the town of Huntersville is here this Saturday from 2 until 8 p.m. at Huntersville Athletic Park. Come celebrate Huntersville's 150th birthday, Saturday, September 23rd. For more info, visit huntersville.org. The All-American Dog Show is back in Cornelius, Sunday, October 1st, 2 until 5 p.m. Your furry friends are also welcome to attend. You can even enter them into the contests. Be sure to come by the WSIC tent at the All-American Dog Show happening at Robbins Park in Cornelius, Sunday, October 1st. For more info, visit cornelius.org. Have an event you'd like to tell people about? Yard sales, estate sales, and everything in between? Visit WSICnews.com and click on events to submit your event today.
The Renaissance Festival is back! Saturdays and Sundays, September 30th through November 19th. A non-stop outdoor family adventure. Huzzah! Tickets available online only at renfestinfo.com while supplies last.
And now it's time for a look at your weather report from the WSIC Weather Center. Beautiful day out there today, and it'll continue through the nighttime. Partly cloudy this evening with the overnight low dipping to 58. Into Friday, mostly sunny skies throughout the morning, that afternoon high jumping up to 76. This is your weather report from the WSIC Weather Center.
Special purchase at Randy Marion Chevrolet in Statesville. How about a Chevrolet 22 model Silverado pickup? These are the regular cab long bed work trucks. These are ready to go today. I've got over 30 in stock starting at $23,990. Miles on these things are a deal. 8,000 miles up to the mid-teens. That's right, 22 model Silverado trucks, 8,000 miles starting at $23,990. Come check them out today. Randy Marion Chevrolet in Statesville.
Thought-provoking conversations and informed perspectives.
It's meant for everyday people to understand, and you don't have to stress about technical terms and stuff. They just say it like a real person.
WSIC News Talk Now.
All right, welcome back to the Scoreboard here on WSIC 704-873-1400 if you have something you'd like to talk about today. We're going to keep with the NFL here through this next segment, and before we get to the Thursday night game, which I know I said I was going to talk about that a little bit, but there's something going on in Chicago. I don't know what it is, but there's something weird going on in Chicago with the Chicago Bears. So, first of all, yesterday, Justin Fields spoke with the media, and he admitted that he felt like he was playing robotic and not playing like himself. So he says, my goal this week is, in not as many words, in more words than what I'm saying, is to go out there and play football like I know how to play football. That includes thinking less and just going out there and playing off instincts. And when he was asked why he thinks he's been playing robotic and not like that, his response was, coaching could be coaching. But at the end of the day, they're doing their job when they've given me what to look at and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, I can't be thinking about that when the game comes. He threw his coaches under the bus. Don't know why. Don't know what provoked this. Now, he then walked his comments back in the locker room saying that he does not believe that the coaches are, keeping him from playing better football or doing a bad job. What I think he was trying to say is that he's been trying way too hard to fit into the system that the Bears have him in. And what made him a successful quarterback is, yes, trying to fit in that system, but also just going off your instincts. And if a play breaks down, let it break down and move around in the pocket and find somebody, or scramble, or do whatever Justin Fields is able to do. It just didn't come across that way, and it made it sound really weird. Follow that up with the fact that yesterday, the Bears' defensive coordinator, Alan Williams, stepped down from his role as the defensive coordinator. And there were a lot of rumors and speculation and thoughts about what happened. Well, Pat McAfee earlier today went on his show and says, our sources have told us that an FBI raid happened on Alan Williams' house. Now, this could become a very serious matter. There's rumors going on about what it was about. There's, the team has said that nothing got raided. The rumor was that Halas Hall and Alan Williams' home both got raided. Well, the Bears said that they didn't get raided, but they refused to say, well, not refused. They didn't say whether or not Alan Williams' home was raided. But here's Pat McAfee going on his show and saying very specifically that his sources told him that an FBI raid did happen on Alan Williams' home. And that is the only person with any kind of reputation to say that, yes, this is something that's happening. Adam Schefter tweeted yesterday that the Bears say nothing happened and that nobody's involved in this. The weirdest part of this is that Pat Tillman is like an FBI agent now, and he's part of the search is what the rumor was. I don't know. It's a weird story. I hope that this doesn't blow up into what we think it is. Because it's going to be a very bad look for the Bears. And I'm not going to begin speculating on what the charge or what the thought is on what Alan Williams' home was raided for, because it is not confirmed. Nothing about it's confirmed. All we know is he was released, and then Pat McAfee said, yeah, his home was in fact raided. And I'd like to also clarify, I said Pat Tillman, not Pat. Charles Peanut Tillman is who I was speaking about there. He works in the FBI now, apparently. Crazy. But there was a rumor that he was involved in this. He was the one investigating, but it has been debunked. The league is not involved in anything, and this from Ian Rappaport. So I don't know what the situation is. It's a weird one, nonetheless. All right. Now that we got that cleared up, all I got to say is, Chicago, figure it out. Your team's been bad for so long. Just figure it out. We have football tonight, though, so, I mean, any story that would have been big is going to get swept under the rug because we have a football game tonight. Yay! Everybody look over here. Over here, there's football. New York Giants, San Francisco 49ers. I can't believe that this is a primetime game. Maybe I'll be proved wrong and the Giants will actually show up. But it took them 6 quarters to score any points in the season. They were shut out in week 1, and they were shut out by the Cardinals in the first half of week 2 before they somehow were able to make a miraculous comeback down 21-0 and 28-7. And they ended up winning 31-28. And then you have the San Francisco 49ers, who are one of the scarier teams in the NFC this year. That defense is incredible. Brock Purdy is not irrelevant, and they don't really have that many weak spots. The defense has been flying to start the year. The offense has looked good. Brock Purdy's looked really good. I just don't see how this week 3 matchup was so good that the NFL said, you know what? Let's go ahead and put Giants 49ers. Without knowing anything that happened in this NFL season so far, I know it's only 2 weeks complete, but I'm just going to look through the schedule for this week, and we're going to talk about what better games there were to put out there than Giants 49ers. Starting with Rams-Bengals. Rams-Bengals would have been a great game for Thursday Night Football this week. Have the Rams, after a terrible year, trying to bounce back. The Bengals, after another disappointment, trying to continue their season. And now the storyline's even better because the Bengals haven't won and they don't have Joe Burrow. Maybe that doesn't make for a good Thursday Night Football game, but the storyline is better. Falcons-Lions. Falcons, top of the AFC or NFC South right now, undefeated. The Lions, supposed to be a really good team this year. Is that one that would have been not good for Thursday? I'm not going to really go too into this because it's just, you can do this every week where you look at the schedule, you say, all right, what's the Thursday game? Oh, and you make a face like, ooh, I don't know if I want to watch that. And then you look at the Sunday night game and you go, okay, it's interesting. And then usually the Monday night games are also pretty interesting. But Thursdays, yet another dud. And it'll happen tonight. If somehow this is a good game tonight, I don't know. Play every game on Thursday for all I care. It doesn't make sense. We're going to head to break here. But before we do that, the 49ers are going to win by 17. Easy. Lock it in. Go to your local sports book and put the bet in. Because I'm telling you, 49ers by 17. And I don't have the actual line pulled up right now. I'll see if I can get that before we go to break. But man, there's no reason for you to think that the Giants are going to win this football game. When we come back, we'll go ahead and talk about NASCAR. We have some more driver sound for you. Texas coming up. Round of 12, second round of the playoffs. We'll preview that and make sure that you stay up to date with what's going on. You're listening to The Scoreboard here on WSIC 105.9, 100.7 FM. Stay tuned. We will be back right after this.
Still the one. 76 years strong, and we're still the one. WSIC. News. Talk. Now.
Black Powder Coffee is celebrating their 10th anniversary with a medium dark roast blend of Indonesian and South American coffee beans. Enjoy the full-bodied natural flavor notes of chocolate with a bright finish. Get Black Powder Coffee's new anniversary blend today at Black Powder Coffee, 261 Rolling Hill Road, Mooresville, or participating retailers everywhere. Black Powder Coffee.
And now it's time for a look at your weather report from the WSIC Weather Center. Beautiful day out there today, and it'll continue through the nighttime. Partly cloudy this evening with the overnight low dipping to 58. Into Friday, mostly sunny skies throughout the morning, that afternoon high jumping up to 76. This is your weather report from the WSIC Weather Center.
In life, we plan for many important things. Weddings, our children's education, retirement. A celebration of life is really no different. Planning and paying for your life celebration in advance will give you and your family valuable peace of mind. We'll help you take care of every detail with professionalism and compassion. We're Lynn Honeycutt Funeral Home. Find us at DignityMemorial.com.
It's back, and it's better than ever. The WSIC Community Yard Sale. Sell your stuff October 28th as we bring back the legendary Community Yard Sale. Visit WSICnews.com/yard sale. Get your spot today.
Okay, I'm talking funny because I'm in the witness protection program. I have too much credit card debt and I don't want people to find me.
Okay, I'm just kidding. We're going to talk about credit card debt. Right, those plastic things that we all have in our wallet. Are you in your 50s or 60s and you're still carrying around a mound of credit card debt? Wouldn't it be nice to start banking that money and save a little money for retirement down the road? We help people restructure their credit card debt all the time. We show people how they can get out of credit card debt in months, not years. Listen, you'll be carrying around credit card debt for the rest of your life unless you deal with it right now. We offer a free consultation so you can learn how you can finally wipe out your credit card debt and start saving money. Give us a free call right now.
Call Debt Solutions Network now. 866-451-3328. 866-451-3328. That's 866-451-3328.
Hi folks, Pat Shannon inviting you to join me for the Home Ad Show. We help you sell things, buy things, celebrate birthdays, anniversaries, and have a lot of fun in the process. Weekday mornings from 9 to 11, here on News Talk WSIC.
The Panthers will try to right the ship this week as they travel to Seattle to take on a very good Seahawks team. I'm Sharon Thorson with the Panther Update after this.
As the official ticket marketplace of the Carolina Panthers and the NFL, Ticketmaster has a wide selection of tickets available for every game. Whether you're cheering on the Panthers at home or away, Ticketmaster has you covered. With Ticketmaster's interactive seat map, you'll get a 360-degree preview of your seat so you can make sure you have the best view of those pivotal plays. Plus, the Ticketmaster app makes it easy to sell or transfer tickets if your plans change, and mobile tickets make getting in on game day a breeze. Find tickets today at Ticketmaster.com/Panthers.
It's a quick turnaround for the Panthers, who head out west to take on the Seahawks after falling to the Saints on Monday Night Football. The 0-2 start to this season has understandably frustrated the Panthers, particularly rookie quarterback Bryce Young, who only lost 4 times in his entire college career as a starter. Veteran receiver Adam Thielen, though, is helping him keep things in perspective.
The NFL is, it's just a different level. It doesn't matter how much experience you have, how long you've played. It's frustrating. There's veteran quarterbacks that have played a lot of football in this league that are 0-2, right? That's just the reality of this game. It's tough to win games. So for us, we just got to continue to work, and we got to really just stick together, because a lot of times in this league, I've been around a long time, and this is the time that sometimes fingers start getting pointed, guys stop believing, things like that. But when the teams that are great, they stick together and they find a way.
Finding a way is exactly what this Panthers team plans to do. Coach Frank Reich's confident his team can turn things around.
I believe we have the players and the coaches to get those things cleaned up. We're also very confident and optimistic that we'll get things right.
I'm Sharon Thorson on the Panthers Radio Network, presented by Morris Jenkins.
Be a part of the conversation.
I listen on the way to work.
Have your say.
It's more than just opinions, it's facts.
This is WSIC News Talk Now.
All All right, welcome back to the Scoreboard here on WSIC 105.9, 100.7 FM. While we were at the break, I was doing a little bit of browsing, trying to see what I could find going on in the world of sports. And I did find the line, the spread for Giants 49ers tonight. And just a reminder, the 49ers are going to win, and it's going to happen by a lot. Especially because the Giants do not have their running back, Saquon Barkley. Doesn't make a good case for the running backs getting paid as Barkley gets hurt. So do a couple of other running backs, Josh Jacobs, and we know the Jonathan Taylor situation. So anyway, not making good cases for running backs. But the spread, 49ers are favored. No surprise there. Question is by how much? 10.5. So the Niners by 10.5. Over under 44 points. I don't know where they came up with these numbers because I would have set that over under at 14.5. 2-touchdown game. That's what it's going to be. So there you go. I got you the information that you desire. All right, we head to Texas in the NASCAR Cup Series. Round of 12 beginning, first race of that round. Denny Hamlin ought to be pretty confident after a win at Bristol in the final race of the first round. Here is Hamlin on his confidence level at Texas.
Yeah, I mean, we already started working on it. We were there. We did the test with Goodyear, myself, Logano, and I think Suarez. You know, I feel pretty good about it. I feel like that tire is very, very different, and I think it probably could catch a few teams off guard and not be what they expected because it is very different. But we at least kind of have a baseline of what that is, and we're going to start to work on it to try to put the fast car on the track next week too. So I feel like we're in as good a spot as anyone going into next week.
And you heard him talking about a new tire. Well, that's because Goodyear brought a new left side tire to the track this year. It is not the same one that they had last year. So we'll see how that ends up. Usually when the tires change, the hope and the goal for NASCAR is for the tires not to be the story. We've seen tires be the story. Most notably, I don't remember the exact year, but it was one year at Indianapolis where you couldn't go more than 15 laps, it felt like, without blowing a tire. So NASCAR is just really hoping that they don't have a situation where Goodyear, the tire, is the storyline. They want the storyline to be what happens on track. And who wouldn't? If you're a governing body of a sport, you want the conversation to be specifically about what's going on the field, on the track, on the court, on the rink, wherever it is. You don't want the story to be stuff that's being supplied. Well, hopefully that'll be the case this week because, man, I can just see it now. A playoff race where tires are a big issue. NASCAR drivers and fans alike would not be happy. Here's a little bit of news for you. Given the command for Sunday's race at Texas, musician Jelly Roll. Yeah, all right. Given the command to start the engines. I don't know. I found that funny. Little bit of humor injected into the show, guys. Come on. Anyway, we head to Texas. The previous winner of Texas, well, last year, if you remember, we had the first 4 races of the playoffs go without a playoff driver winning the race. Well, the driver that did that last year was Tyler Reddick in the 8 car. no longer in that car. That car now belongs to Kyle Busch. So expect for him to have a pretty good showing. I'd also expect for Kyle Larson to have a good showing. He won the year before. This is the track where the drivers are going to absolutely fight the hardest to get a win. Because it's a mile and a half. We know how mile and a halves drive. We know how they race. Coming up, you have Talladega, which is the biggest wild card race you can have. And after that is the Charlotte Roval, where maybe if you're not the best road course driver, you're going to be wishing that you got a few more points throughout not only the regular season, but the other two races in this round. Texas is going to be crazy. Whoever wins this race, if it's a playoff driver, huge, huge stress relief. Even more so than next round, where you have the round of 8 to get into the championship 4. Winning this race is like the biggest weight off of a driver's shoulder, because you go into Talladega without a care in the world. And all you want to do is try to get more bonus points for that round of 8. So we'll see who comes away victorious here in the Cup Series at Texas for the first round of the round of 8. Also, not only will the Cup Series be racing this weekend, but the Xfinity Series will also be at Texas. And as we look at the current playoff grid, Jeb Burton, Sam Mayer, Parker Klingerman, and Josh Berry are currently below the cut line. Now, it's a little bit different in the Xfinity Series, and we touched on that last week, how Bristol was actually the first race of the playoffs for them, not the last race of round 1, like the Cup guys. No. They started the playoffs there. Round 2, or race number 2 of round 1 for Xfinity at Texas. Then they don't go to Talladega next weekend. The elimination race is at the Charlotte Roval. So like I said, Jeb Burton, Sam Mayer, Parker Klingerman, and Josh Berry all currently below the cut line. Justin Allgaier got the win in the Xfinity Series race after a great battle towards the end. He actually pit with about, I think it was 60, 75 to go, somewhere around there, and ran the leader down and passed him under green. Now, if you were watching the Xfinity race, I hope you were, and I'm kind of sad that I didn't touch on the Bristol Xfinity race until just now. A reminder, Dale Jr. was in that race. Dale Earnhardt Jr. got back in the car, and man, he looked great. He was leading laps, battling for the win late in the race, and then all of a sudden, his car caught on fire. And not only did the car catch on fire, but his fire suit caught on fire. Well, obviously NASCAR said, hey, we want that fire suit. The same way they do for cars when the cars crash. Remember when Ryan Preece wrecked it at Daytona? I said, yeah, NASCAR is going to take that car. Well, they took Junior's fire suit. Hopefully to see what went wrong so they can make it better in case there ever is another fire. That way, well, there will be more fires. I mean, NASCAR is dangerous inherently. But they're going to try and figure out why it caught on fire and try to improve it. One more segment to go when we come back. Stay tuned. This is the Scoreboard on WSIC. We'll be back after this.
Still 76 years strong, and we're still the one. WSIC. News. Talk. Now.
Here's your WSIC community calendar. Stuart Owen Dance, the resident dance company of Asheville's Wortham Center for the Performing Arts, is performing at Kane Center for the Arts in Cornelius this Saturday. Want to learn more about Stuart Owen Dance before the event? Listen and watch Justin Dione, Executive Director of Kane Center for the Arts, during his show, Know the Scene, on Tuesday or on demand anytime. Just visit WSICnews.com and click on radio shows to find Know the Scene. Stuart Owen Dance, this Saturday, cainarts.org. That's CAIN arts.org. The sesquicentennial celebration for the town of Huntersville is here this Saturday from 2 until 8 p.m. at Huntersville Athletic Park. Come celebrate Huntersville's 150th birthday, Saturday, September 23rd. For more info, visit huntersville.org. The All-American Dog Show is back in Cornelius, Sunday, October 1st, 2 until 5 p.m. Your furry friends are also welcome to attend. You can even enter them into the contests. Be sure to come by the WSIC tent at the All-American Dog Show happening at Robbins Park in Cornelius, Sunday, October 1st. For more info, visit cornelius.org. Have an event you'd like to tell people about? Yard sales, estate sales, and everything in between? Visit WSICnews.com and click on events to submit your event today.
The Renaissance Festival is back! Saturdays and Sundays, September 30th through November 19th. A non-stop outdoor family adventure. Huzzah! Tickets available online only at renfestinfo.com while supplies last.
And now it's time for a look at your weather report from the WSIC Weather Center. Beautiful day out there today, and it'll continue through the nighttime. Partly cloudy this evening with the overnight low dipping to 58. Into Friday, mostly sunny skies throughout the morning, that afternoon high jumping up to 76. This is your weather report from the WSIC Weather Center.
The Ugly Antenna is bringing back old technology to help those without a streaming provider to watch up to 50 channels absolutely free. The Ugly Antenna is not the big, unsightly outdoor antenna of the past. It's new technology that is connected to your TV inside your home. You can get your Ugly Antenna by calling 704-682-1755. The Ugly Antenna isn't really all that ugly. Call 704-682-1755 to get yours today. That's 704-682-1755 for the Ugly Antenna.
Breaking news, expert analysis, and the stories that matter most, all in one place.
I totally acknowledge seeing flames is a scary situation.
WSIC News Talk Now.
Welcome back to the Scoreboard here. Final segment of the day, 704-873-1400. If you have something you'd like to talk about. I was going to try to avoid this, but I just saw something that reminded me that Charlotte FC has no idea how to close a game. Not a clue. Charlotte FC out to a 2-0 lead, and they draw. Well, what happened, might you ask? Well, Philadelphia got one goal, made it a 2-1 game, and then stoppage time, 90+7, a penalty in the box. Taken by Charlotte. Penalty kick is in, and Charlotte FC plays to a draw with Philadelphia Union. I don't understand what happened. I mean, this is two times in 3 days, 3 games now, that you have allowed the tying goal in stoppage time of the 90th minute. That's 6 points. I'm sorry. Well, you get 1 for a tie. That's 4 points that has been left on the table in stoppage time. And when you look at the standings, Charlotte FC could have used those 4 points. If you give Charlotte FC 4 points, they are 9th in the East, final team in the standings, making the playoffs. 1 point ahead of DC United. But they can't figure it out. And I don't know what the problem is. And it was a disgusting penalty to take. I mean, just not even close. I don't know soccer that well, but I knew that was a penalty immediately. So Charlotte FC, they end up drawing with Philadelphia. Here's the deal. Miami won, NYFC won, DC and Chicago draw. 8th is Montreal with 37 points. 9th is DC with 36 points. NYCFC, 34 points, 2 points out of the playoffs. Chicago and Charlotte, both with 33 points, 3 points out of the playoffs. And don't look now, but what did I tell you? Miami was going to make a run. I know Messi hasn't been playing. And side note, if you saw any of the highlights from the Inter-Miami game, Messi got subbed out in like the 38th minute and half of the stands emptied. It was insane. The Messi effect is real. Anyway. Miami, right behind Charlotte, with 31 points, 5 points out of the playoffs. Those 4 points that they left on the table are going to end up being absolutely massive. And I wouldn't be surprised if Charlotte misses because they took 2 penalties in 2 games in stoppage time to give away a win. I mean, that'll break your heart. That'll just break your heart right there. And I feel bad for anybody who was at the stadium. It was in Charlotte. It was right here, Bank of America Stadium. And Charlotte FC couldn't finish it off. I don't know what we need to do to get them to figure it out. I mean, they play good. It's like I've been saying, they always end up with better possession, better chances, more shots, more corners. They have the opportunities. This is like 6 games in a row here that they've had more opportunities than the opposition. And they still can't get the wins. Somebody's got to figure out how to score goals. I guess that's what it comes down to. Now, they're not getting shut out, at least. Last time Charlotte had a game where they didn't score was actually the last game they played against DC. 0-0. Draw. But before that, it was Inter-Miami in the Leagues Cup. Held them to a 4-0 score. 4-0, as they say. But there's your Charlotte FC update. Game last night. Absolutely heartbreaking. Look, there's only 6 games left. That's 18 points on the table. They need a majority of those if they want to come back and make these playoffs. Entirely possible. Not even out of range yet. Not even slightly out of range. We're not in panic mode just yet. But when they play Cincinnati this Saturday, they better get that win. Moving on to the MLB because, man, we got about 10 games or so left in the season. We're right here. Some important games going on today. Let's see. We got the Blue Jays and the Yankees squaring off. The Braves and the Nationals, not really too enticing. The Rays beat the Angels earlier, and the Brewers beat the Cardinals earlier. Cubs play the Pirates again. Giants-Dodgers series. That should be interesting as the Giants try to back their way into the playoffs. Only 2 divisions are still yet to be decided, that being the AL East. Baltimore leads Tampa by 2 games still. That division has been a 2-game lead for like 6 months now, it feels like. And then the AL West. Houston with a half-game lead over Seattle and Texas. Seattle and Texas currently tied for that last wildcard spot. Looking over to the National League, Chicago Cubs, the final team in the playoffs. Miami Marlins, a half game out. Cincinnati Reds, 1 game out. San Francisco, 3 games out. And we said that was all the teams that would be fighting for this final wild card spot. But no, a new challenger has appeared. Winning 7 games in a row, all of a sudden, San Diego is 4.5 games out of the wild card. Impossible? Again, no. Likely? Not at all. But it's a good run. And it would be a historic run if they were able to pull this off and get into the playoffs on one of the hottest streaks that you will see. I mean, the hottest streak I think we saw in baseball this year was the Tampa Bay Rays, how they started the year with 14 consecutive wins. People were saying, oh my God, they're going to tie the Mariners for the greatest record in baseball history. They're not even going to win their division. They're barely going to win 100 games. Anyway, got off on a side note a little bit there. San Diego, 4.5 games back. Their elimination number is 6. Some teams on the verge of being eliminated. Boston, 9.5 games back, 1 game away from being eliminated. The Yankees, 8 games back, 3 games away from being eliminated. The Mets and the Pittsburgh Pirates, 8 games back in the National League. Their elimination number also sitting at 3. Not a lot of time left in the baseball season. Playoffs are right around the corner. It's going to get overshadowed in national media. You're going to see a lot of football, a lot of basketball, because basketball will be starting soon. Probably not a lot of hockey. Nobody really likes hockey, but I do. We're going to cover it. The Carolina Hurricanes are a good team. And all of a sudden, I just heard something going on outside the studio. I don't know what it was, but there was a loud bang. So hopefully everything's good over here on our end. We're pretty much at the end of the show here. So make sure if you're interested in it, you tune in to Thursday Night Football. You'll probably only need to watch for about 10 minutes before the game ends up being way out of reach for the Giants. Although you might have thought that on Sunday when the Giants were down 21-0 and 28-7, they ended up coming back and winning. But the 49ers are not the Cardinals. So you got to highly doubt that a comeback of that magnitude would be able to take place against the 49ers. It's just not going to happen. Quick reminder for anybody who joined us late here, Bryce Young, not expected to start this Sunday. He has an ankle injury. He missed practice for the 2nd straight day. He was out there, but he was getting what they call mental reps. Thanks as always for joining me today here on the Scoreboard, WSIC 105.9, 100.7 FM. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place. We'll preview the Panthers. We'll preview NASCAR. Charlotte FC has a game this weekend. A lot of fun stuff to look forward to. College football. Don't think I forgot about college football. Colorado has a big game coming up. And I think there's a really big college football game this Saturday. Ohio State and Notre Dame. We'll talk about all that tomorrow right here on the Scoreboard. WSIC. This is your host. That's me. My name is Joe Berg. I'll see you guys tomorrow.